So the princess was brought back there. She's in the process of recuperating. Lorna is tending to her. Gregor is popping by the camp pretty frequently at this point to give you tips and work and various other things like that. So if you do want to go do something, you can probably go ask him. He probably has a lead on something in the area that might need, maybe some people are willing to pay for some services rendered. You have that, and then on top of that, everybody else is just kind of doing their own thing. So you guys are just at camp, so you can choose what you want to do.
I'm going to pray.
You do that.
I'm going to walk up behind him.
Okay, you walk up behind him. Are you trying to be sneaky about this?
Sure, fuck it.
Alright, roll stealth.
That's an 18. With that, it's also plus 13.
Yeah, okay, so Raka, you can roll your awareness roll. So it would be a listen roll for you. 1d, so 17, so you do not hear him sneak up on you, so you are completely unaware of him. Alright, so Chim, you are able to sneak up on Raka without him noticing you.
Yeah, I'm just going to move my face near his, like in Jurassic Park, like, ribbit.
Okay, Raka, I want you to roll a straight wisdom roll.
Oh!
Oh, God. Oh, nat
20.
Okay, well, you know the rule with the nat 20s. You are not surprised by Cham's attempt to scare you in any way, shape, or form, and you can handle this however you want.
I'm going to grab him by the tongue and slingshot him across the field.
Alright, so Raka, I'm going to have you roll a dexterity roll to see if you can grab his tongue, and if you pass that...
Nah.
Oh. Alright, so you move very quickly, and when he tries to say ribbit, you try and put your hand in his mouth to grab his tongue, but he very quickly backs away. Kane, what are you doing during all this?
At this point, I feel like I'm just watching.
You're just having like a zen moment right now?
Pretty much, yeah.
You can go talk to Gregor. You could also talk to any of the other characters. The princess is still kind of comatose, so she's not talking right now, but you could talk to Lorna is there, the archer.
Then I'm gonna go with Kane's character to talk to, what's his name?
Okay, so you two walk up to Gregor. He's just kind of leaning up against the hut. Looks like he's whittling down a little piece of wood with his knife that he usually keeps on his belt. When he looks up at you as you approach, "Oi, you boys looking for some work?"
I mean, if you're offering, what kind of work we talking here?
I got a few things here. Different bounty boards, things like that around town. We got some villages of you guys down near the swampy areas near the shoreline. We got to wade through them waters, go up your chest, black bubbly type shit, that kind of thing. Apparently they're in some trouble down there, so maybe you can go help them. We have some other stuff. There's a few towns around here that might need some work done.
I'm gonna lean in on Kane's character going, what the fuck did he just say?
You know, I understood most of that, but at the same time, it's just like...
Why you look at me like I got flies on my head or something?
I mean, for all we know, you do.
Yeah, alright. He's gonna roll perception to see if he sees flies. He does not see flies. Or rather, he sees bits of sand blow by him that he mistakes for flies because he's an idiot.
Alright, I'm gonna launch my tongue and to get a fly.
Dexterity roll. That is with the addition
That's
from your dexterity bonus.
Okay, that's a 13 with my dexterity bonus.
Alright, you just kind of like flap your tongue out and you like get it kind of close to him, but he's just kind of like, oh, he's a nice tongue.
Really? I don't think so.
Is he the mean brother?
Kinda.
I guess that's why they gave you the gun.
I'm just gonna look back. It's like, that's a knife. Pull out mine. This is a knife.
Oi, that's a nice knife.
I'm just gonna ribbit.
Do you actually talk?
Ribbit.
Okay, look, here's a scroll with some things on it that you can look over if you ever want to do anything. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep whittling my stick.
I'm just gonna grab it like, alright, let's do the shit.
So now you can speak.
Look back at him. Ribbit.
He's twiddling your horns, mate.
I beg your pardon, I am not attracted to frogs.
Not necessarily what I meant, but yeah.
So I'm gonna grab Kane. I'm gonna move him over. Look at the fucking thing.
So you read the little scroll that Gregor had on him, and it appears there's a couple of things that are within your area that can be done. Looks like there's a small frogkin village that's to the south, kind of along the shoreline in a swamp. It apparently says there that they have put up a bounty for the return of a clutch of eggs that it was apparently stolen. You also apparently have reports of a laughing short creature that has been stealing people's belongings from another village that's nearby, but it appears to only be stealing gold. Last one is along the coastline. There is another man with a ship who is offering a reward for help in taking down a massive sea creature.
Alright. So I'm just gonna bring it over to Uhtred. And I'm just gonna bring out the shit while he's praying, like, alright, Uhtred, look at this shit.
Do not interrupt the Lord's Prayer.
I'm gonna look him in the eye like, ribbit.
You heard me, son. Fuck off.
Oh, you shouldn't be cussing during the Lord's Prayer.
The Lord decides what are curse words.
Remember,
Fuck off.
thou shalt not curse.
I know me some Frenchmen, Frog. Now fuck off. Well, you still have the legs to carry you.
What's the French?
You'll find out.
Anyway, look at this, number 3. We are planning on doing this to fight a sea creature on a boat. Also, my brother over there shagged your griffin.
What?
I don't believe you.
Cham, are you trying to bluff Rocket's character? Because you will have to roll a bluff roll.
Alright, let's do it.
And then
Oh, that's a 16 plus my 2 for bluff, that's an 18.
All right, Rocket, you're gonna have to roll against that, and I believe it would be.
Sense motive?
That would actually be perfect.
Oh!
You rolled an unnatural 20, but that is more than an 18.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're able to discern that he's full of shit.
I don't believe you, good sir. If he were to try to defile my griffin, he would be food, because he's a frog and she is a griffin. Let me see this list. I will see if God wishes it to be done.
Your god is a false prophet. And I'm just gonna back up.
He leans forward. Your dad is not your real dad.
Same with their god, now choose a fucking quest.
Alright, what are the quests again? Because Uhtred was praying.
One of them is to kill a sea creature on a boat. One of them is to investigate a village of frogkin that are claiming that something was stolen from them. And the third one that I suggested was creature stealing gold.
I say we do with the thieves. I'd rather not surround myself with more frog people.
I'm gonna ask my brother. You want to do the sea creature one, right?
Do you
That's
want
the
to
quest.
kill sea monsters, boy?
Yeah, I thought that was established.
All right, that's 2 out of 3. Let's go.
Fine.
All right, so I'm just gonna point out here, and we start departing.
So the place where there's the sea monster south, it's kind of a small little fishing village. So it takes you guys about roughly a day to ride there. And what winds up happening is you arrive at this small little fishing village, and you basically see that there are a series of shipwrecks that are kind of out in the water. And then you also see that there are several ships in the actual bay that are kind of armored up and stuff like that, and they look like they're almost armed to the teeth with cannons.
I want to roll a search to see if I can spot the correct ship that we gotta go to.
Okay, roll search check.
Like a 19 with a 10. That's a 28.
All right, you spot one particular ship that reminds you of what is described in the actual note, and the ship itself is known as the Killer Whale. You see what appears to be several people that are on deck, in addition to what looks like a captain up at the helm.
I'm gonna jump up to the helm.
Jump check.
18 plus a 19.
37. You're able to leap from the dock onto the upper deck of the ship. I'm going to roll for him to see if he is surprised by you. He may shoot you by accident. Okay, you freak him out enough where he doesn't shoot you, because that would have been like a nat 1 if he had actually rolled it. He actually just kind of like freaks out, falls over for a second. He then very quickly composes himself and looks at you. What are you doing, lad?
I'm gonna pull out the paper and like ribbit.
Oh, that's a different story, laddie. Is it just you?
I'm gonna point at the dock, ribbit.
All right. Well, looks like we have 3 new mates to add to the ship. We're gonna need you, boys. Get your friends on the boat.
I'm gonna lean over at the dock, ribbit.
You guys are gonna both have to roll to see if you understand what the fuck he's saying.
I'm gonna lean over to Raka and tell him that he just called him a fuckface.
Roll bluff to see if he believes you. And Raka, you're gonna have to roll against him to see if you think Kane is full of shit, and then you're gonna have to roll again to understand what the fuck Cham was saying. All right, so Kane, you rolled a 13. And
I'm just going to assume he's telling the truth. I'm not going to even question it. I would believe that.
Okay, you're still gonna have to roll to see if you understand what Cham was, if you can actually understand what he was saying. Okay, you don't understand at all what he's saying.
I'm just gonna get on the boat.
Okay, so you're just gonna get on the boat. Rocker, are you also gonna get on the boat?
Yeah.
So you guys get on the boat. The captain comes down to you, so you guys are all in the same spot now. He identifies himself as Burns, and he comes up to you and says, "We're gonna hunt the biggest sea monster on this side of the continent. A massive shark. Something that people write about in books and fairy tales. 100 feet long, 7 1,000 pounds of death. Probably more, actually. Probably like 10 to 20.
Sounds
I'm
like
I'm gonna straight up ask him, how the fuck is your boat gonna support that?
Because we got these new harpoons with magical heads on them. You shoot one into them, and kablooey, that thing goes haywire and explodes, and meat and shark guts are gonna go everywhere. We're gonna blow them up.
I'm gonna loudly. So, well, we got best bait for a shark. We got a griffin.
First of all, we're going to feed anything to anything. I say we feed it frog first, and that will serve as payment enough for this
Are
frog
you trying to
dragging me.
intimidate Cham with the griffin?
No, I am making a blunt statement.
Well, griffin is bigger than a frog, so I'm just saying.
Just saying frog's tastier than griffin. Nobody
I
eats
know.
cat meat.
Cat meat.
Griffin is part lion.
Or is it chicken because it's also part bird?
That's a great fucking question, and I'm not going to try to figure that out. I'm just going to go with it.
That's a bird head.
Here's the way we're going to solve this argument. Each one of you is going to roll an intelligence roll. Whoever rolls the higher intelligence roll makes the better argument. Ooh. Now that is also with your intelligence modifier.
Yeah, that's a 20 then.
Intelligence modifier? That is a 22.
Cham, you make the better argument that the griffin is actually more chicken than it is cat.
Either way, I still say the frog would enjoy, or the shark would enjoy frog more.
To each of his own.
Either way, I thought you said we were here to hunt sea monsters, not a shark.
This shark isn't like any other shark. It's massive. It sank those ships at the front of the harbor.
Why didn't you shoot it with that fancy gun you got there?
We just got these in, and we need more people to man them. I need people manning the boat just as quickly as manning the harpoons. Plus, the last time we took her out before we got these babies in, I lost 6 men.
Can we tie the frog to the harpoon?
Yes, but he probably won't survive after the explosion.
Glorious, I'm in!
Damn, can we put the griffin on?
The griffin's much too heavy
big.
for the harpoon to carry it. Plus, the griffin can fly. Fucking idiot.
Alright, so we're just gonna go along with them. Alright, let's do this.
Alright, lads. Tie the frog man up to the harpoons.
I'm just going to take
Hey,
some
yo,
of my...
which one?
Yeah, that's a good point. You
Yeah.
probably should specify that, considering there were 2 of them.
So I'm just going to take some of my secretion and just put it on some of his clothes.
If you accidentally tie the wrong one to the harpoon and we find out later, mistakes will be forgiven.
Don't forget, this guy's crazy. He worships a false prophet.
I don't worship prophets, mate. I worship God himself.
So basically, Burns takes that as you will be his new crew members, and he thinks that is enough people where he can release himself from port. So they push off with the killer whale, and the ship begins to beckon into the harbor, looking for the massive shark. I'm going to roll for him, but each of you guys is going to have to roll for a search check to see if you can discern where it is or spot it. All right, so Burns doesn't notice shit.
Oh!
Did you roll a 20?
A natty 20, so that's a 30.
Let Raka roll and Kane roll just to see what we get. He rolled a nat 22. I swear to God, if we get a third one, I'm going to crap myself. This is fucking hilarious. Okay. It's a 15.
Disappointment.
Slight disappointment, but the fact that we got 2 in a row is hilarious, even though it wasn't on the same thing. All right, so all 3 of you are able to spot that it appears that there's something moving along the horizon. You see it dip below the water every once in a while and come back up. It kind of has the side profile of almost looking like a giant fin. You notify Burns because he doesn't fucking see it at all because he got a 4. And basically, he is now looking out over the horizon and he steers the ship towards that. I'm going to give him a sailing check because this is going to be gnarly to see if he gets... Okay, he can't sail the ship either, apparently. He's a very useless captain. Basically, he gets closer and closer to it, and instead of pulling up alongside of it, he basically kind of plays chicken with it like a moron. So I'm going to give you guys a chance to hop on those harpoon guns and see if you can actually hit it while it's going straight towards the ship. It would be a dex check because you're aiming a projectile weapon.
Swear, I got a +5 to my dex. So 15 plus my 5, that's a natural 20. Can I take some of my secretion, put it on the harpoon?
You can rub it all over it, yeah. Yeah, you can put that on there. So what does the poison do exactly? What's the damage?
1d4.
So you'll calculate the 1d4 and upon hit. Kane and Raka, you guys are also going to have to roll.
Oh, nice.
Cham got a 20, you got a 16, Kane, you got a 9. So Kane, your harpoon goes into the water and explodes harmlessly. Cham and Raka, you guys both hit with yours. So the way that the harpoon works is you have the harpoon damage itself, which is 1d12, and then you also have 2d10, which is the explosive damage that is after the fact. So you have to roll 1d12 and 2d10.
See? Fucking bullshit. D12, 3, plus 16. So I did 18, or 19,
Okay,
sorry.
so, alright.
Alright, so you're 1d... You got the same score as Raka.
That's a 20, and a fucking 3.
So that means you did 26 damage, and Raka, that means you did in addition, you did 19. So 23, 19, that's 42. Yeah, you did 42 damage. So the amount of damage from the actual harpoons is enough to get the creature to veer off its path directly towards the ship. So it does veer away, and the fin goes off to the side of the ship at the last moment before it actually strikes you. So now you're also going to get a shot at it going back before it makes its second round.
Okay, so you gotta just do another dex.
Yeah, it'll be another dex to try and see if you can shoot it again, because the fin is still above the water, so you can see where it is.
That's same fucking 15 plus a 5. That's on that 20.
Okay, that will hit. Raka and Kane, you guys will have to roll again for dexterity to fire the harpoon guns. Raka's going to hit with his. Kane, you will miss again. So Kane, you rolled low enough where you actually launch your harpoon, and unfortunately, it hits a very, very unfortunate porpoise and blows it to smithereens. So you killed a porpoise.
I rolled an 8, 7, 10, and a 2. 27 damage.
Ooh, Rocket had a good one for his
Nice.
for the harpoon itself. So it's 11 plus another 11, so that's 22. Okay,
Plus
so
22.
So 27 and 22, so that winds up being 49 damage that you do to it on the way out. So it's kind of similar thing really happens where the harpoons hit and explode, and you see kind of like pieces of meat and stuff that fly off the back of the shark. And as that happens, you see the fin shoot below the surf very quickly, almost as if the shark is diving. You no longer see it.
Is there a crow's nest?
Yes, there is.
How high is it?
It's within leaping distance for you.
12 and 19. So
All right, so you leap up and you grab the edge of the crow's nest and pull yourself over. So you are now up there. You gonna roll for a search check again?
fucking 17. That's a 27.
All right, so as you're looking around, you don't see it anywhere. If it's anywhere around you, it has to be low enough where you can't actually see it through the water. It's down so far that you can't really tell where it is, or it's directly under the boat.
I'm gonna yell out, brace for impact.
You yell that out. I'm going to roll for Burns. Raka and Kane, you guys both roll listen checks to make sure that you hear him. Oh, wow. Okay, Burns got a nat 20. Okay. All right, Raka got a 14. All right, so Kane, that's a 16. All right, so all of you guys hear him, and Burns tells everybody to hit the deck very quickly as he immediately turns the wheel to give the ship a very hard right. So as the ship is turning, the shark bursts out of the water right next to the ship and shakes everything. The surf churns up, and you see the whole thing out of the water, and it's actually bigger than the ship you're on. It looks like it's even more massive than that. It has a few holes blown in the side of it from those harpoons, but it looks like it's still pretty intact, and its head seems to be intact. Most of the damage appears to be up on the top near where its fins are, in the back kind of near the tail. You do notice, too, as it comes out of the water, that there is damage to the tail, which means maybe it might have a hard time doing certain things in the water in terms of maneuverability. The shark then immediately goes back down below the waves and appears to be swimming off in a different direction. Not really, it doesn't look like it's coming around for another turn. It looks like it's going away from you.
Then I'm gonna jump down.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give anything because it's gravity and you're a frog. So yeah, you're back on the deck. Burns repositions the ship, and I'm going to do a sail check because he's going to try and follow it. All right, Burns rolled a 19. All right, so he shifts the ship back on course, and he's following the shark as it appears to be going closer and closer to land. You are not quite in range to use the harpoons yet. However, you can do what you want as the ship continues its pursuit.
I'm gonna secrete fucking all over all harpoons. So everyone gets a...
Okay, all the currently loaded harpoons will have your poison on them when you get into range. So basically what's going to wind up happening is that Burns is following the shark. As it gets closer to land, it starts going into these... They're wide channels, wide enough for ships anyway, but it's a reef where there's certain areas that get more claustrophobic than others. So there's a lot of really jaggedy rocks and stuff like that it's kind of luring you into. The captain's going full steam ahead.
I'll jump back up to the crow's nest. So that's 21.
All right, you make it up to the upper mast, and then you're able to climb from there up to into the crow's nest. It takes a little bit more effort than last time, but you're able to get up there.
I'm gonna start yelling directions of the reef.
Okay,
Of reefs.
roll for a search check.
14 plus 10, that's 24.
All right, so you're able to give him clear enough directions where he's able to guide himself through the reef and kind of follow the shark to an extent. As you guys are getting closer to the opposite side of the reef, the shark begins to flail about in the narrow channel. There are relatively sheer cliffs on both sides of you. It's kind of like a valley that goes through with like a very large waterway, and eventually it feeds back out into the ocean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll strength for the shark to see how well it does. Okay, it does. It is okay, even with the strength bonus to that. So there's going to be a few things. I'm going to roll one more d20 to see if anything happens as a result of this. All right, so it rolled a 12. So there is one pretty decent-sized rock that falls off the cliff. I'm going to give you guys a chance to do a reflex save with the harpoon. If you can hit it with the harpoon, it might make it so that it doesn't hit the ship. Maybe it'll go off course a little. Okay, that's going to be on Kane and Raka to actually hit it.
Let's see if Kane can actually hit it.
Okay, Raka did not do roll so well on that, so Kane. Kane. All right. So this is what happens. So both of you fire your harpoons at the same time. However, both of the harpoons crisscross in the air, completely missing both each other and the rock. The harpoons then proceed to fly into the cliffs on the front and back of the tunnel in front of you and behind you, and shatter some rock into the water harmlessly. The rock that was actually flying towards your ship does impact it. Let's see how much damage it does, because it's going to be about 3d10s. All right, so 21 damage to the ship. So a little bit of structural damage, but nothing where the ship can't just keep going. It didn't go through the bottom hull. It basically went through the top deck and landed on the second deck without breaking the boards underneath it. So there's no water or anything that's being taken on the ship, but the top of the deck does have a hole in it. So the captain continues to direct you through the channel, continue to chase the shark out. The shark then hits the open water again. You guys are going to have another chance to hit it with those harpoons and see if you can damage it to the point where maybe it can't swim away anymore.
I'm jumping immediately down for a harpoon.
Okay, Cham, you jump down for the harpoon. Raka and Kane, neither of your harpoons have any kind of poison on them unless, Kane, you choose to apply that. So that means all three of you guys are going to have to roll dexterity again. Cham, you're the only one that's getting the poison bonus.
I got a natty 20. That's a 25.
Oh, man.
Okay.
That is so bad.
So Cham, you rolled a nat 20. Kane and Raka, you guys are both missed. All right, that's a 1. Ooh, and the 1d4.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Since it was a natty 20, was that that crit?
Yeah, it would be a crit because it was a nat 20. So instead of 6, you did 12 to the shark. It's not enough to actually prevent it from continuing to swim as fast as possible. It's still going to continue. However, Burns is going to roll another sailing roll to see if he can keep up with it and give you guys another shot. All right, he rolled a 14. That's enough where I think he's going to be able to keep up with the shark. It's still in open water, but it's basically still kind of trying to pull away. So you guys are going to get one more chance to hit it before it's going to do something else.
Let's go.
All right, unnatural 20. Kane, you also hit. Yeah, no, that one will miss. So Raka, you do miss on that one. Kane and Cham both hit.
That's a 21 for me.
So you do 21 total damage to the tail. Kane, you're going to have to roll your damage as well. So that's 1d12, 2d10. Okay, so that's 18 damage. So in total, that's 39 all put together. So you guys together are able to hit your harpoons. Raka, unfortunately, you take out another unfortunate porpoise. So you guys both basically blow its tail fins off. So now it's kind of just flailing about in the water, but now you're actually able to get up to it. Now the problem is that Burns is going so fast and the shark is slowing down so much that the shark is coming within range as he's trying to turn. So the shark is going to reach out and try and bite the boat with its mouth. And I'm going to roll for the shark to see if it's actually able to get it or if the boat can swish by. Oh, God. Okay, the shark rolled a 1. Okay, so this is going to be funny. It rolled a 1. So what happens is the shark, at the moment it's about to bite the ship, it feels a yawn coming on. And the shark yawns in front of you and leaves its mouth open for attack. All of you get a chance to attack it in the mouth for double damage. That will hit, Jam. Kane, you also hit. Okay, Raka, you miss. 14 damage. All right.
Use them all up.
And Cham, so
I had 30.
Is that with the doubling?
No, that's 60 with the doubling.
All right, so Cham and Kane, you guys both shoot it in the mouth. Kane, you got 14 in total, which means that doubles to 28. So Cham and Kane, between the two of you, you do 88 damage to the inside of the shark's mouth. As the 2 harpoons shoot in, they hit the top of its mouth and explode, blowing out chunks of its head backwards. You just killed the shark. Raka, unfortunately, your harpoon shoots into the air and takes out a flock of seagulls. Yeah, no, the shark is just sitting there. Its corpse is in the water. There's a hole blown in the back of its head. And Burns runs over to the side of the ship and he just looks out at the shark. My God, it's finally dead. 5 ships all eaten the surf. 45 men. Goodbye, me friends. He takes out a bottle of liquor and pours it into the ocean, before then throwing the bottle itself into the ocean. He then takes out another bottle, pops the cork out of it, and begins chugging it. He's drunk, but he's not passed out.
I'm like tapping on the chest. Like,
he's still chugging. One of the shipmates hands you a bottle of booze because they have plenty of them.
Constitution save, you said?
It'll be Constitution because you're getting drunk. Okay, 21. You're not drunk at all. In fact, what you probably would do is, because you're a frog, you just swallow the fucking bottle.
And just punch myself in the stomach to break the bottle so all the fucking alcohol come out?
No, because then that would fucking kill you. Because you'd have broken glass inside of your body. You're just gonna pass it through your system in like 2 hours anyway and crap out a bottle that hasn't been opened. So you don't get drunk, but he gets drunk. So after he finishes chugging that bottle and throwing that other empty bottle into the ocean, he turns to all of you. Thank you for helping me get revenge on the big old beast back there. I'll give all you lads all of the reward money you're owed. 5,000 gold apiece for killing it. So each one of you is going to get 5,000 gold.
I'm rich.
I'm gonna jump into the water for the go towards the shark.
Okay, you do that.
I'm gonna harvest some materials.
Okay, what are you going to harvest specifically?
Like some of the skin. I'm gonna get some of the teeth. I'm gonna go try to get some bones.
The skin you can harvest with your knife pretty easily. I'll just do a strength check to show that you can get through the skin because it is pretty thick. All right, well, you're able to get through kind of the top layer of skin. You're able to get like some leathery chunks of it off with your regular knife. As for the teeth, again, that's kind of a different story where you don't really have anything that can kind of saw those off. You're probably going to have to break it off somehow by like striking it or hitting it with something.
I was gonna start knocking at the gums, cutting at the gums.
Okay, so if you're going to go about that route, the inside of the shark's mouth is pretty soft. All right, you cut it out enough where the tooth is loose. It's kind of sitting there. Maybe if you use your strong frog legs, you can kind of push it out. So give me another strength roll. All right, that's enough. So you're able to dislodge one of its teeth. So its tooth is just kind of floating there in the water. It has enough buoyancy where it's able to kind of stay up. It's almost like a lily pad because it kind of curves under. There's a little bit of like a cupped out area where maybe you could sit or something like that. But it's actually big enough for you to stand on like a lily pad.
Shark skin and shark fucking
Yep, you have a massive shark tooth, which you might want to strap to the back of the griffin or something like that for carrying purposes. Yep, and you do have some shark skin. That could be turned into like leathery materials. You may be able to use it to upgrade your armor a little bit because it is a pretty strong natural material. There are literal holes in the shark, so you can go into those and see if you can harvest some bone. Okay, that's going to be a dexterity roll. All right, Cham, you're able to harvest some bone fragments from the jaw of the shark.
I'm just gonna keep those for the if I can make some weapons.
Does anybody else want to do anything with the shark?
Nah, I'm good.
No, I'm gonna leave the shark alone. It's beneath me.
Burns brings you guys back to shore and drops you off. He pays you each 5,000 gold for your services and thanks you very much for helping the small village stay alive in terms of their fishing, because now, since the shark is gone, a lot of the fish in the natural ecosystem are going to come back, and a lot of the fishermen in the area are going to return in order to fish the waters for all of the new inhabitants. So they thank you very much and bid you on your way. You do still have 2 other leads in addition to maybe just some other things that might happen while you're traveling.